I just finished recapping the radio and just wanted to show you an interesting fault that's shown up. Now, after I replace the caps, as usual, I switch on the set just to make sure I haven't mucked anything up. And as I finished, I think it was this cap here, I noticed something. The set goes into self-oscillation. Now, this can be caused, or this was caused, just by something as simple as, there you go, as just gently touching the volume control. Now, by careful tapping the components, you can see it starts to centre around here. Now I think this is a tone capacitor, affects the tone, but if you look, it's connected to this tag strip. See how easy was that, just to start it going? And that connects to the base of V3, because if I tap, it's an HT feed resistor. If I touch anything connected to these bases, nothing much happens. But here, quite, I'm sure old hands have seen that one. You know, when they were doing their service, but I've not seen that before. Anyway, I've narrowed it down to this valve base here, which is V3. So what I'm going to do is be careful not to burn my fingers on the output valve. I've got a new UBC 41. Pop that in and turn the set on. You'll notice here, just to the side here, this is an AC/DC or hot chassis set, so I'm using an isolating transformer here. This one's quite a useful beast. It's fairly heavy, but it's filled with epoxy resin in here, and it's transportable. I think it might be an ex Telecoms one, but you'll notice the warning label on top there. Might have come out of a lab. Right, so I've replaced that that valve, and we'll try and get it to oscillate now. Nothing. See?
We had no idea it was that bad. What can we do to help? And
faulty valve.
And everyone's very kind. But yeah, life goes
Quite interesting, that. Yeah, it's just guessing affecting the volume control a little bit, but yeah, quite interesting, that one. I'd obviously heard about it, but I've never had that one happen to me before. But I spent a lot of time looking around the wave change switch as well, because you know, at first I was just touching the wires around here, because usually when there's problems in a radio and you can't get it to work, sometimes it's dirty contacts in the wave change switch there, and I was pressing around here and it was still going, and I cleaned the contacts no end of times, but there we go. Wasn't that at all. It was the valve itself. There you go, UBC 41. Excuse my voice, I'm filming this the day after I post the other video, and I've got a bit of a cold now. Well, there we go, she's finished. And the thing I wasn't able to do was find a decorative screw to go in this missing space here. I've got a radio auction next weekend that I'm going to, so I'll see if I can find a scrap set or perhaps one in an old box of bits there. What I've done to it, I've obviously recapped it, polished the cabinet, I've lined this gold trim here with brass paint. Obviously polished all the knobs, put them in my ultrasonic tank and given everything a good clean. And with the speaker here, the speaker hasn't got any cloth behind it or anything. It was quite faded from the sun. So what I've done is I've used some shoe scuff cover here. Just dip it in a little pot, press, put it with a brush, and I've actually just painted the speaker, the paper. It doesn't harm the speaker, and instead of a sort of browny grey colour showing through here, it's just dead matte black now. So the most important thing, of course, if you remember, the back of this radio was totally wrecked. This is it all put back together and fixed. It's a solid structure now. I had dreadful trouble with these bits here. They were really brittle. As I tried to press them back into shape, other bits were breaking off. You know, it gets very hot in here, so you know, I guess the plastic has aged and you know, lost its plasticity, if that's a word. I think it is, yes. So there we go. There's the radio. It's working very, very well, other than that fault that I had with the valve. So yeah, I've been playing my little medium wave transmitter through it today, and I've been building a new one. Of course, there's my new transmitter. I've been playing around with this, but it's not working right, you know. It just doesn't sound right. So after seeing John and Al's videos, you know, there's something we could all learn from both their videos. And of course, you know, if you're building little things like this, I think it's very important to use Quaker Oats.